everyone, I'm Dr. Axtell. Today I thought we'd talk about the differences between food allergies and food sensitivities. So food allergies are mediated by an IgE response in the body. This is an antibody that's immediately released after exposure to the allergen. Things like peanuts and shellfish. It's also known as a type 1 immediate hypersensitivity reaction because it can be between minutes to hours where you get this reaction. Things like lip swelling, anaphylaxis or throat closing, hives, swelling beyond recognition, itchy skin rash. Generally people know if they have a food allergy to things like peanuts or shellfish. They already know that coming into the office, which is important to know. But what a lot of people don't know is if they have a food sensitivity. A food sensitivity is mediated by a different reaction in the body, a different immune reaction in the body. It's what's called an IgG immune response. This is delayed. This is a delayed hypersensitivity reaction to food. It can be between 1 to 3 days after exposure to that food. So it can be a little bit more difficult to discern. And that's where food sensitivity testing can be really important to help identify what that food is that's causing the problem. The symptoms associated with food sensitivities can be things like headache and brain fog, fatigue, joint pain, skin rashes like psoriasis, eczema, and then of course our gastrointestinal symptoms that can occur like stomach pain, cramping, diarrhea, constipation, gas, bloating. Now with the digestive complaints, it's also important to try and identify, all right, is this a food sensitivity? And we can do that through testing. Or is it something that's going on with the microbiome, whether it be SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, or dysbiosis in the colon. We can identify those things, like the bacteria imbalance, through a different test, through breath test or a stool test, and that's where meeting with a naturopathic doctor can really help identify, all right, what's the best test that's indicated based on your symptoms and your past medical history. But food sensitivity testing is a great place to start. I often start there with a lot of my patients with the digestive complaints or things like fatigue, like I said, headaches, musculoskeletal pain, brain fog is pretty classic too. So here's a sample test. This is a food sensitivity IgG test that I often do with my patients. You'll see here it's a bar graph, and the further it is over into the red zone, like for instance, this person had a significant reaction to gluten. It was really high. The bar was really high in the gluten category, the wheat category. So that confirms gluten sensitivity. This person also had an egg sensitivity. It was really high. And quite frankly, there were a lot of immediate reactions to different foods, mediocre reactions to foods, things like cocoa beans, asparagus, blueberries, seemingly healthy foods. And when we get a lot of different reactions to seemingly healthy foods, and a lot of different reactions in general, that can be consistent with what's called a leaky gut or intestinal hyperpermeability. And super important to not only take out those foods for a little bit, but also to heal that integrity of the gut, heal that gut lining, so that the patient can enjoy that food in the future, hopefully. So food sensitivity testing has been an invaluable part of my practice. I hope you found this helpful.